Good morning. My name is Heather Morris. I'm the Assistant Chief of the Criminal Investigations Command. And I wanted to start off here today by letting you know that I'm going to be providing some information on this investigation of missing 5-year-old boy Samuel Olson, now 6. But to start off, I just wanted to say that there's a lot of investigative work that's necessary in this investigation that still needs to be done. So I'm going to be providing some broad details about what happened and kind of connecting some dots in how we got here today. But just to start off, there's a lot of details I'm not going to be able to share because this is an active investigation, and there's going to be some things that we're really going to need to get right, to be able to, follow this thing up. So I wanted to start off also by introducing my team that I have with me here this morning. I've got Commander Null of the Homicide Division, and also I have missing persons investigators of the Major Assaults Family Violence Unit here with me, and I'll start off. I've got Officer Sean King, I've got Officer Brian Fort, I've got Officer Danny Doe, I've got Officer Martha Bailey, Sergeant Brendan McCord, and Officer Darren Busey. There's also, I just can't say enough about this amazing team that's standing behind me and the work that they've done on this case. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the work of all of these investigators behind me, as well as some additional investigators as well that are not here because they're out actively still working this investigation. And so I want to acknowledge Sergeant Persard and Sergeant Grimes and Officer Crowder and Officer Mr. Vinogradov, and Sergeant Brady and Sergeant Casso. And all of these investigators have done just an amazing, phenomenal job, and there's still a lot of work to be done. But our hearts go out to the family members of Samuel. We are very, very saddened by the events that have brought us here today. It's just an absolute tragic event, and our prayers go out to the family. So we've asked everybody here today to provide information on the investigation of 6-year-old Samuel Olson, who was reported missing to HPD on Thursday, May 27, 2021 at approximately 6 p.m. Patrol officers were dispatched to a residence in the southwest part of town where they met the father of Samuel, Dalton Olson. Also at the residence was Mr. Olson's girlfriend, Teresa Balboa. Mrs. Balboa told the officers on the scene that she was at the residence that morning at approximately 7 a.m. when she saw Samuel's mother with an unknown officer at the front of the residence. Ms. Balboa indicated that the officer told her that she would go to jail for kidnapping if she did not return Samuel to the mother. Ms. Balboa indicated that she recognized Samuel's mother because she had seen her before. Ms. Balboa told the officers that Samuel's mother and the officer left in separate vehicles. Mr. Olson told the officers that once he heard this story from Ms. Balboa, he contacted Samuel's mother, and she told him that Samuel was not with her. Missing persons investigators began working this investigation and made contact with Samuel's mother. Through investigative efforts, they were provided evidence that Samuel's mother was at her residence throughout the entire morning of May 27, 2021. Investigators continued to follow up on this case, doing everything investigatively possible to find Samuel. Their investigative efforts included in part interviews with Ms. Balboa, Mr. Olson, Samuel's mother, and others. Missing persons investigators discovered inconsistencies in Ms. Balboa's statements and consulted the Homicide Division. From that point, a collaborative effort was conducted by both the Missing Persons Unit and homicide investigators. Also, Texas EquiSearch assisted in searching multiple locations. A search warrant was obtained for the residence in the 15,000 block of the Gulf Freeway. This is the residence where Ms. Balboa was living. On Monday, the search warrant was executed by investigators, and the Houston Forensic Science Center collected evidence from that location. That evidence will be processed and analyzed for its forensic value. Also, a 2012 Dodge Avenger was towed from that location to also be searched and analyzed for evidence. Yesterday, investigators were contacted by Jasper Police Department, and they were notified that they had received an anonymous tip from Crime Stoppers that led law enforcement officers to a motel in Jasper, Texas in connection with this investigation. Jasper Police Department officers initiated contact at the motel with Ms. Balboa and eventually discovered the body of a young child. Ms. Balboa was taken into custody. At this time, we believe the child to be Samuel, but we cannot confirm that it is him until the medical examiner makes that determination. The Texas Rangers took lead on the investigation, and homicide investigators traveled to the location to continue their follow-up. At this time, the Harris County District Attorney's Office has accepted charges of tampering with evidence against Ms. Balboa. Once this case has been fully investigated, investigators will be presenting the case to the District Attorney's Office for additional charges if appropriate. In addition to the investigators that I've already identified today, and again, I just can't say enough how proud I am of their work and all the efforts that they put into this investigation. But there are other people that help with this investigation, so I just wanted to thank some people that I know that have been involved in this investigation. And some of those are Texas EquiSearch, Tim Miller, and all of his people that he has with him. The Harris County District Attorney's Office, specifically Samantha Connect, that worked with our investigators to get search warrants. The Texas Rangers that helped out at the scene last night. Jasper Police Department, the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, the Jasper County District Attorney's Office, our Houston Forensic Science Center, and also Crime Stoppers. I would like to open it up for questions, but again, a lot of the details I'm not going to be able to provide information on just because of the seriousness of the investigation and the ongoing investigation. So if somebody has any questions.
There was I think Monday, that detectives said that they believe that the child wasn't missing last week, but since April the 30th. Is that still something that you guys are looking at, or he disappeared on May 27th?
So we know that the last day that Samuel was in school was April 30th. So other than that, we don't have the information yet as far as when was the last time that he was actually seen. So that's a big part of what we're doing right now and the conversations we're having right now to determine when that was. But April 30th was the last day he was in school.
And what stage do you know that the child was found? Was he with trauma or anything like that?
Right, so I'm going to leave that for the, once the, medical examiners have done their, done the work on that, and not get into the specifics on that, and mainly because, a lot of that we don't have yet. We just don't have it until that medical examiner is able to do their part.
Has Ms. Balboa said anything?
So, she has been talking to investigators because, like I said, we had some inconsistent stories. So we have talked to her multiple times, and that's going to be ongoing.
Can you talk about a little bit of the house on McAvoy? You guys were there yesterday, searching the house, searching the area. What was found in that investigation that led to, or in connection to Jasper?
So McAvoy was the location where Ms. Balboa reported Samuel missing from. And so obviously that's a place that we have an interest in. As far as anything else there that led us to Jasper, McAvoy doesn't have any connection at this time that we know of to that. What led us to Jasper was the Crime Stoppers tip that came in, letting Jasper PD know that Ms. Balboa was there at that location in a motel there in Jasper.
And that Dodge, and excuse me if I missed this, that Dodge, do you believe that it belonged to her? Or do we know that
we believe that that was a vehicle that she primarily drove.
Okay, but we don't think it belonged to her, per se.
As far as the actual ownership, no, but that is a vehicle she primarily drove.
Does Ms. Balboa have any criminal record?
Well, I can confirm that Ms. Balboa is out on bond currently.
For what?
That would be for a assault with intent impeding breath.
Was there a protective order against the dad, Dalton Olson?
I am not aware of a protective order, but when you protective order, a protective order. No.
From Ms. Balboa with Dalton, the dad.
There may have been some conditions of the bond, but specifically a protective order, I'm not aware of one.
So she was on bond on an assault charge against him?
Against the father of Samuel's father.
how did she get to the motel in Jasper? Was she with anyone?
So we're still investigating that, and we have additional people that we're talking to. I don't want to get into details, you know, as far as that goes, because I think it would be very premature. But yeah, we're talking to, you know, we have several other people we're talking to.
Do you know if the child was already at that motel and she arrived there after, or?
So I would probably hold off on that one. And again, that's going to play out. We'll, you know, as we go through the investigation, we'll be able to, you know, shore up a lot more details on that.
Do you have any motive why she would take him? Why Jasper? Why a hotel? Is there a motive behind this? I mean, it's so heartbreaking.
It is absolutely heartbreaking, absolutely. And as far as a motive, no, we do not have a motive at this point in time.
Is there anybody else you're looking as a person of interest? Anybody else you're looking to take into custody?
So we do have other people that we have an interest in talking to in this investigation. As far as charges, we're not there as far as charges go, and but we do have additional people we're talking to, definitely.
But that's not the father of the child included in those people of interest?
So I think that I'm not going to say that the father is a person of interest, but he's definitely somebody that we can continue to talk to and get information from.
How many would you say are people of interest?
I really couldn't say exactly, but there are several people that that we're interested in talking to additionally.
And how was Samuel brought in from the car into the motel?
Can you say that again?
How was Samuel transported from the car into the motel?
So we are working on surveillance evidence from the hotel, and so that'll play out once we do further investigation.
Can you read what she was what charges she was taken into custody on? And you said she's bailed out already on those.
Okay, so she is on bond for a case from November,
Yes.
from November of last year.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the assault with intent to impede breath.
Okay.
And that's the one where Samuel's father, Dalton Olson, was the complainant in that case. Currently, she's on bond for that case. The DA's office here in Harris County has accepted charges for tampering with evidence at this time. And again, once we do more investigation, and if appropriate, we'll be, working with the DA's office to pursue additional charges if that's appropriate.
But she is in custody right now.
She is in custody. She's actually in the Jasper County Jail right now.
Okay.
And so we're working on finalizing getting our charges filed here. Like I said, the Harris County DA's office has accepted charges here in Harris County, and we will be trying to get, working through the process to get her returned to Harris County.
Got it. Do we know how Samuel was potentially killed at this?
We do not. We'll have to wait. That'll come from the medical examiner, investigation. Yeah.
Will Ms. Balboa make a court appearance in Jasper County today? You know?
I don't have any specifics on that. I do not know.
Did Jasper Police comment on how Ms. Balboa acted or reacted when she was apprehended?
Yeah, I do not have that information.
The mother in this case, the mom, how is she
Samuel's mother.
doing? How is she doing, and has she indicated any kind of threats from Ms. Balboa at all?
I'm not aware of any. Obviously, as a mother, I understand she's, extremely upset, but I'm not aware of any threats or anything like that.
Do we know how long Samuel may have been dead?
We do not know, and that'll be part of our extensive follow-up investigation.
Any other questions? And folks, please remember, he has not been positively identified yet. Let's keep that in mind.
Okay, anything else?
Anything else?
All right,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
I do
Appreciate
have
it.
one question. That apartment that you guys served the search warrant on Monday,
Mhm.
who specifically does that belong to?
That apartment is where Ms. Balboa lives there. That's her residence. And there is another male that lives there with her, but I don't want to, at this time, you know, we don't want to identify who that is.
Do you know Ms. Balboa will be brought back to Harris County for?
Yeah, so our intent is to work through the legal process to get her returned to Harris County, yes.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Cuando esté.
¿Se sabe hasta el momento en este caso en torno a Samuel Olson?
Sí, básicamente estamos aquí el día de hoy para dar información actualizada sobre el caso del niño desaparecido Samuel Olson, que se reportó desaparecido el 27 de mayo originalmente. Básicamente, como el transcurso de la investigación, nuestros oficiales de patrulla fueron llamados a una residencia en el suroeste de la ciudad, donde nos reunimos con el papá de Samuel, Dalton Olson, y también ahí en la residencia estuvo la novia de Olson, Teresa Balboa. Ella le dijo a nuestros oficiales ahí en la escena que había visto a la mamá a eso de las 7 de la mañana con un oficial desconocido ahí en esa residencia, y también le indicó al oficial, o nos indicó que ese oficial le había dicho a la mujer ahí en esa residencia que si no entregaba al niño que iba a ir a la cárcel por secuestro, si es que no le entregaba al niño a la mamá. La señora Balboa dijo que reconoció a la mamá porque ya la había visto en otras ocasiones. También le dijo a nuestros oficiales que la mamá y el oficial se fueron en carros separados cuando se fueron de la residencia. Cuando el señor Olson escuchó esta historia, él hizo contacto con la mamá, quien le dijo al señor Olson que ella había estado en su hogar todo el día y que ella no tenía a Samuel con ella. Debido a esa información que se obtuvo, la unidad de personas desaparecidas inició una investigación y también hicieron contacto con la mamá de Samuel. Y durante la investigación se determinó y evidencia comprobó que la mamá no estuvo presente. Ella estuvo en su residencia todo el día el 27 y toda la mañana del 27 de mayo. Se continuó la investigación y hicimos todo lo que se pudo para localizar a Samuel, en parte hacer entrevistas con las personas que estuvieron involucradas. La unidad de personas desaparecidas empezó a notar inconsistencias con los datos que nos estaba dando la señora Balboa, y luego en ese momento se hizo la decisión de comunicarse con la División de Homicidios. Y de ese punto fue una investigación colaborativa con la unidad de personas desaparecidas y también con la División de Homicidios. También nuestros amigos con Texas EquuSearch ayudaron a revisar varias locaciones alrededor de la ciudad para intentar a encontrar a Samuel. Una orden de cateo se obtuvo para una residencia en el 15,000 de la carretera 45 Sur, y esta es la residencia donde la señora Balboa estaba viviendo. El lunes ejecutaron la orden de cateo y el Centro del Médico Forense localizó evidencias que se ha recopilado y se va a analizar para ver si tiene algún valor para esta investigación. También se remolcó un automóvil, un Dodge Avenger del 2012, también se remolcó y también lo van a revisar para ver si pueden determinar si es que existe evidencia o no. Ayer nuestros investigadores recibieron información de la policía de Jasper, que recibieron una pista anónima de Crime Stoppers que dio que oficiales llegaran a un motel en Jasper en conexión con este caso. La policía de Jasper iniciaron contacto en el motel con la señora Balboa, y ahí fue cuando descubrieron el cuerpo de un menor de edad. Ahí la señora Balboa fue tomada bajo custodia, y en este momento se cree que posiblemente el cuerpo de esta criatura sea de Samuel Olson. Sin embargo, el médico forense todavía tiene que conducir una autopsia para determinar la identidad oficial de este menor de edad. Repito, todavía no se ha confirmado 100% si este menor de edad es Samuel. Los Texas Rangers han tomado cartas en la investigación y nuestros investigadores de la División de Homicidio de la Policía de Houston también están conduciendo su propia investigación. Hasta ahorita, el procurador del condado Harris ha aceptado cargos de lo que le llaman tampering with evidence o falsificando y manoseando evidencia, más bien. Y todavía tenemos bastante investigación que conducir, entonces hay muy pocas cosas que podemos decir porque todavía continúa muy en marcha esta investigación.
Cuando se habla del cargo de manipulación de evidencia, ¿esperan que pronto después de todo lo que resulte la identificación oficial del cuerpo y todo esto, piensan que la señora Balboa va a tener cargos de homicidio?
Hay una posibilidad, pero ten en mente que todavía se tiene que determinar causa de muerte, se tiene que determinar si otras personas estuvieron presentes, cuál fue todo cómo sucedió todo el incidente. Entonces ahorita estamos todavía hablando con otras personas que posiblemente estuvieron involucrados, tomando declaraciones para ver en qué paso va a tomar la investigación. Todavía hay bastante trabajo que hay que hacer antes de que se pueda hablar de cargos adicionales.
¿Se puede hablar de dónde encontraron los restos o el cuerpo?
Hasta ahorita se encontró adentro de un cuarto de un motel en Jasper y debido a la investigación no vamos a discutir en qué condiciones estaba ni posible causa de muerte. Eso se lo vamos a dejar al médico forense.
¿Estaba dentro de una bolsa?
Como dije anteriormente, el cuerpo fue hallado dentro de un cuarto, no vamos a discutir cómo fue encontrado, en qué condición estaba.
¿Qué le puede decir a usted quizás la comunidad se escuchó desde el principio, ¿no? Los llantos, vieron las lágrimas de la señora Balboa y la tomada de pelo que estaba tratando de cuando hablaba y de cómo había desaparecido el niño y el resultado de las tres investigaciones que se han hecho, se dan cuenta que todo fue fabricado. ¿Qué le puede decir a la comunidad cuando quizás la comunidad tiende a pensar de que pobrecita esta familia, pobrecita esta persona y al final salen involucrados?
Pues obviamente, como siempre hemos dicho, siempre le hemos pedido al público que tengan paciencia y que sepan que la investigación va a ser completa y la investigación va a descubrir la verdad de lo que sucedió y que nada más tengan paciencia y deje que el proceso esté en marcha y tarde o temprano se va a descubrir la verdad.
Hable de las personas bajo interés que tienen, porque no solo la señora Balboa está en custodia, pero hay varias personas de interés.
Son varias personas con las que estamos hablando, obviamente no las vamos a identificar todas. Yo sé que han preguntado si el papá, Dalton Olson, es una de esas personas. Obviamente, como dijo la jefa Morris anteriormente, él va a ser una persona con quien vamos a estar teniendo diálogo en repetidas ocasiones, pero no vamos a identificar quiénes van a ser esas personas, obviamente por la integridad de la investigación.
¿Se sabe la historia criminal de Balboa en el condado Harris?
Sabemos que ella estaba libre bajo fianza por un caso de asalto, donde Dalton era la víctima. Hasta ahorita es la única información que tenemos sobre eso. Y ese fue un incidente que sucedió en noviembre, si tengo entendido bien.
La señora Balboa estuvo desaparecida unas cuantas horas. Ella fue encontrada en Jasper.
Ella fue encontrada en Jasper, exacto. Recibimos una pista diciendo que ella estaba en el motel ahí en Jasper. Okay. Anything else? Thank you.